Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, start of the week. I am myself. So, I had promised to do a weekly outlook video since I wasn't able to do a weekly recap. So, this is going to be that weekly outlook. It's going to be as brief as I can put it because we are starting the week. It's in the beginning of the week, so there's nothing much to talk about. Whatever happened last week happened. By the way, if you want to see how I trade, I have a free WhatsApp channel. I'm going to leave a link in my description to this video, so you can join. I literally posted the recap of the video of not the video, but the trade that I took on Wednesday. So last week I only took one trade on Wednesday, but I wasn't able to do the recap. So, but if you're in my channel, you um, I updated the group there, and yeah, it was an amazing trade, and yeah, that was the trade I took on on Wednesday. So going into this week, before I even talk about what I see in the charts, let's first look at where we should always start from, where it matters most, which is the economic calendar. This gives us a roadmap. This gives us a TV guide of what we can expect going into this week in terms of news. So you can see on Monday is a bank holiday, which is today. Again, Monday is usually a non-trading day for me. Tuesday we have this, Wednesday this, but Thursday this, and non-farm employment change. This is not NFP, but you have NFP. So this is NFP week. Generally, NFP week, this is one of the big three. So I'm going to skip on Thursday. Thursday, I'm not going to trade. I'm going to sit on my hands. Wednesday is going to be a potential day where I'm going to look for trades, and Tuesday. But talking about Tuesday, the day after a bank holiday tends to be kind of, ICT says it's usually kind of like not really the best price action. So going into Tuesday, I'm going to be extra careful unless the setup is so obvious. Okay. So going into this week, I think I'm going to be very, very careful. Um, Ideally, I'd want to sit on my hands until NFP release date. Until NFP release, uh, post NFP release, that is when I'd look for a setup. But ideally, this is something that I've noticed with myself when trading NFP week. I tend to let NFP week pass. I tend not to engage during NFP week because it's usually kind of crazy. Unless the setup is so obvious, it depends. It always depends on whether the setup is obvious or not. There are some NFP weeks where the setup is so clean, price action is so clean, so it'd be dumb not to take the trade or to look for a trade. But if setups or if the price of or if price action looks like what I'm seeing going into this week, I'd be very, very careful by the way. I wouldn't be so quick to, jump on a setup. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you might not get setups. If it depends on what kind of a trader you are. Yeah, it all dials down to what kind of a trader you are. If you are comfortable with this price action, well and good. At the end of the day, it's all about what you are seeing, and you need to trust yourself to trade whatever you see. But for me, I am going to be extra, extra, extra careful because I don't really like what I'm seeing in terms of price action, because I can see this is kind of like a range going from last week Monday to this week Monday. We've been in a sort of range where we took this buy side over here, but this is on NQ. We are in relation to this dealing range. You can see we tapped this 75 dealing range level, left a high, and then now we are coming back into the range. We are still respecting this daily fair value gap over here. This bigger one is a 4 hour. So if I just get rid of it here, you can see we are this also this CISD. Let me get rid of it. You can see that this daily fair value gap is still holding bullish. So ideally, I'm bullish going into until I'm told otherwise. The general idea or my general bias is going to be bullish. So that is it. But since I'm bullish, I'd want to see more confirmation to go and attack buy side. So the reason why I'm saying price action is kind of like not the best is because we're in this range, kind of range. Okay, we are here. We now tapped the 75, And you know it's characteristic for the algorithm to leave a high over here, generate more buy side, and then go back inside the range. So how far can it go back inside this range? If you can measure this dealing range again, um, if you can measure from this low here to that high over there, 50%, you can see where the equilibrium lies. um that's what I'm saying. Like, we could be bullish, but we could be, again, we could be bearish. We don't know what we are, what as traders, what we should do as traders and responsible traders is analyze the market and sit on our hands until analyze the market, have an idea of a bias given whatever the market is feeding us, and then sit on our hands until you get confirmation of what is going to happen. So right now, today is Monday. I literally cannot tell you where the market is going to go, and it's okay. It's usually, some people think that being a trader, being a good trader or a profitable trader means that you need to know where the market is going to do every day. No, that is actually not true. Sometimes you have no idea what the market is going to do, and to be honest, in the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, that is usually the general idea, unless the market, the price action was so obvious. But if you are now somewhere, we just completed, let's say, like a market maker buy model, as you'll see here on ES, can see that we literally completed a market maker buy model over here, where we tagged this buy side, which was major buy side liquidity. This to me tells me that we have completed a buy program. And once you complete a buy or sell program, it is characteristic for the algorithm to generate liquidity. It is usually characteristic for us to have a consolidation or backward price action, as we are seeing right here. This is not the best price action you want to be trading in, to be honest. My opinion, though, this is not really the best price action you want to be traded, to be caught in between. And the reason why, or more reason why I'm saying that this could be this price, I'd want to sit this week out. I'd want to sit on my hands more this week than hunt for a setup, is because of this. Once we complete a buy program, and we all know ES has been the stronger pair going into this, comparing the two, even without looking at YM or US 30, you can see that S&P has been the more stronger pair compared to Nasdaq. So once this has completed the buy program, now I'm skeptic about this one. I'm already skeptic already. We do have all this layered buy side liquidity, or low resistance liquidity run to the left, but remember, I'm looking at ES as the stronger pair. This one has already completed its buy program. This one might catch up. Nasdaq might catch up, yes, which is very probable. But I'd want to see something so obvious. It has to be like something like we sweep this. For example, if this was going to continue bullish, I'd want to kind of like maybe see a sweep of this liquidity over here. If I can draw an illustration, maybe sweep this liquidity right here, get a change in state, maybe come back, retest that change in state, then look for um, maybe a movement to the upside. This looks so obvious, and I would be damn not to take this kind of trade. But if this is in the hypothetical, if this were to happen, but we do not know what will happen, so that is why I'm saying we need to sit on our hands more, um, going into this week. Um, Ideally, let the first week of the ideally I think this is personal, but I wish this will relate to someone. It's always good to like let the first week of that month to pass, and then now trade the following weeks. Okay, think of it like this. Since I do not trade on Monday, this is how I look at it. If I do not trade on Monday, I look for trades going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, that is on a weekly perspective. Remember, price is fractal. So we are in a new month. So think of this new month, the first week of the new month, as a Monday. So don't trade on Monday. Apply that general rule of not trading on Monday, going to the first week of every new month. Just let that week skip, let that week pass. because whatever that week will do will give you more information on what price action will uh, markets want to do going into that month. You still have 3 more weeks. And maybe as I finish, something that I've always wanted to say is, you shouldn't be looking for so many trades. The less you trade, the better. That is something I've come to realize. The less you trade, the better. So don't feel like don't feel like market is leaving you out. It's not participating doesn't need to feel like you're failing. Okay, you need to get to a point where you can realize that I do not need to participate on this week because price action is this way. And it's okay. You have to, that is a psychological shift that at some point will click for some of us. It Again, we are different people, we are different traders, and trading is personal. It's a journey of solitude. So it's you discovering you. It's you versus you. There are some people who trade very well every day from Monday to Friday, regardless of what news events there is, and regardless of if it's the first or the last week of the month. It all this depends on who you are as a trader and what type of a trader you are. Okay, I think I've just said the same thing but different in two different statements. So it all depends on who you are, how you trust yourself, your history with the markets, how you have studied price, and what you who you I mean the point is who you are as a trader, okay, and as a person, your personality. So myself personally, I'd be very, this is a week I'm going to even not be so focused on the markets. And I ideally want to see price print and just look at and just use that as information going into the next weeks. Okay. So yeah, that is my weekly outlook. I have um not really, I do not really have a specific bias, but I am net long. I am net long. I am still bullish, but I want to sit on my hands more. If the setup is so obvious, I'm going to take it. Okay. What I need you to understand is you don't need to do what I'm telling you to do. You have to trust yourself. And that is something that I struggled with while I was starting out. You need to trust yourself as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, you don't need me to tell you when to trade. You need yourself to tell yourself when to trade. You have to trust yourself. That is how you conquer psychology, and that is how you conquer being. That is how you start becoming a good trader. Being a good trader is not all about profitability and the money. It's about winning against yourself. Because again, the biggest enemy to this thing is you, not the markets. The markets are going to do what the markets are going to do. Price action will print. The algorithm will do what the algorithm has been coded to do. The problem is yourself. Okay, not even to get so psychological, but it's a you versus you battle in this thing. So you need to conquer you in order to be the best version of yourself when it comes to markets. Okay. I hope this helps. Even though I've not gone into details about price action, I hope the psychological part will help. Again, if you want to see me doing this, if you want to get daily updates on markets, I'll leave a link in the description on my YouTube channel just below this video. I'll leave a link there to my free WhatsApp channel so you can join. It's free. So that is where I do all analysis, weekly outlooks, and the ideas going to every trading day. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. This is all I had for you here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.